Welcome to a journey through sound and history, exploring the hidden realm of the nine sacred tones that have been veiled by time. These tones, once integral to ancient spiritual practices, are now resurfacing, offering profound insights and healing potential to those who seek them. So let's dive into the fascinating world of these frequencies, often referred to as the solfeggio frequencies, and understand why every spiritualist should be aware of them. Long before our current era of digital sound waves and complex music theories, ancient civilizations understood something profound about sound. To them, sound wasn't merely a vibration, it was a sacred force capable of shaping reality. This wasn't mere superstition, it was a foundational belief in many ancient cultures, such as those of early Christians, Hindus, Egyptians, and Hebrews. These cultures recognized specific tones that could heal the body, expand consciousness, and align us with the cosmos. The system of these spiritual sounds is known as the solfeggio frequencies, a series of tones believed to embody divine harmony, cosmic intelligence, and healing potential. The roots of the solfeggio scale can be traced back to early Christian monks, particularly in the tradition of Gregorian chant. However, similar tonal systems are also found in Hindu mantra chanting, Egyptian temple music, and even ancient Hebrew practices. Each frequency within the solfeggio scale is mathematically precise, aligning with natural patterns found in nature and the universe. These are not just musical notes, they are vibrational codes that resonate with the geometry of creation itself. So, what happened to these powerful tones? How did something so central to spiritual practice nearly vanish from our cultural memory? Each frequency, whether 396, 528 Hz or beyond, serves a unique spiritual purpose. These tones are said to interact with the body's energy centers, the chakras, helping to release emotional blockages, realign mental states, and activate higher consciousness. The visualization of sound demonstrate how these frequencies create complex, harmonious patterns in water and sand that resemble natural orders of life. At its core, the solfeggio scale may be the original soundtrack of the soul, a forgotten language spoken not with words, but with waves, capable of healing, awakening, and transforming anyone willing to listen with intent. Take, for example, the 396 Hz frequency. For some, it might just be a simple number, but for those who understand its power, it is a sacred gateway. This frequency is known as the frequency of liberation, particularly from fear and guilt, two of the most paralyzing emotional states in human experience. These emotions often lie buried deep within the subconscious, influencing our thoughts, words, actions, and even our breath. They create invisible chains that prevent us from becoming who we truly are. When listened to with intention or sung in sacred practices, the 396 Hz frequency is said to address and begin dissolving this hidden weight. Ancient cultures understood that sound was not just for communication, it was for transformation. They didn't just hear sound, they felt it. They used specific frequencies, tones, and mantras to cleanse the mind and align the body with divine order. In this context, 396 Hz was not merely a tone, it was a ritual. In certain Eastern traditions, similar tones were used during meditative chants to ground practitioners. In shamanic cultures, drum rhythms with similar frequencies were used to induce altered states of consciousness, where deep emotional release was possible. But why fear and guilt? Why does the solfeggio scale start with these emotions? Because they are fundamental. They are the root of many other sufferings. Guilt blocks forgiveness, both towards others and oneself. Fear prevents action, shrinks dreams, and turns potential into paralysis. Healing can't begin until these two forces are disarmed. And according to ancient sound teachings, 396 is the energetic scalpel that can do just that. Modern science is beginning to catch up. Studies in vibroacoustic therapy, a field that examines how sound waves affect the human body, show that certain frequencies can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, reduce anxiety, and improve emotional well-being. Anecdotal evidence speaks of a warm feeling of safety, a gentle release in the chest, or even spontaneous emotional cleansing when listening to this tone. Combined with breathing techniques, meditation, or positive affirmations, the effects can be even more profound. This frequency also has a mystical dimension. Some spiritual teachers say that 396 Hz resonates with the root chakra, the energy center at the base of the spine, responsible for our sense of security, survival, and physical presence. When the root chakra is blocked, we feel anxious, disconnected, and unstable. When activated, we feel grounded, empowered, and secure. By immersing in the 396 Hz frequency, whether through music, chanting, or tuning forks, we begin to awaken this dormant energy and rebuild our foundation. For many spiritual seekers, this isn't just a sound, it's a frequency of miracles, a tone so deeply resonant, so mysteriously powerful, it's been called the frequency of love, the frequency of miracles, or even the frequency of DNA repair. At first glance, this might seem like an abstract concept, a number full of wishful thinking. But as you delve deeper into the history, science, and spiritual symbolism of 528 Hz, it becomes clear that this tone is truly something sacred. It stands at the heart of the solfeggio scale and is believed to carry the energetic blueprint of life itself. The number 528 isn't random. It appears in the fundamental mathematical patterns of nature. It is associated with the golden ratio, seen in the spiral forms of shells, sunflowers, galaxies, and even in the double helix of DNA. Scientists have found that organic material exposed to frequencies around 528 Hz shows increased structural coherence. In other words, this frequency doesn't just sound beautiful, it seems to create order. Spiritually, 528 Hz is said to resonate with the heart chakra, the energy center of love, healing, connection, and compassion. When this chakra is activated, people report deep inner peace, emotional release, and a stronger connection to themselves and others. In ancient traditions, the idea that sound can heal the heart wasn't a metaphor, but a reality. Music was medicine, and 528 Hz was considered one of the purest forms of this healing power. The fact that this frequency also occurs in nature is no coincidence. In sound healing, 528 Hz is often used to bring body and mind into balance. Practitioners say it helps harmonize cellular vibration, reduce stress, and dissolve energetic blockages. Listeners often report a feeling of lightness or an opening in the chest. Some experience vivid dreams, emotional breakthroughs, or a palpable presence of the divine. It's as if the frequency flows not just through the ears, but through the entire nervous system, whispering to the soul, "You are loved, you are whole, you are light." Perhaps the most fascinating and controversial claim about 528 Hz is that it can repair DNA. Leonard Horowitz, a pioneer in this field, believes this tone can trigger genetic healing by influencing the vibrational field around cells. While established science has yet to fully embrace this theory, studies in vibrational medicine show that sound can affect cellular function, gene expression, and communication between cells. If this is even partially true, then 528 Hz could be one of the most significant natural tools for restoring life at the cellular level. What does this mean? Not just healing wounds or reducing stress, but reconnecting with your true self. In a world that daily fragments us through information overload, emotional wounds, and inner emptiness, 528 Hz offers a path back to coherence, balance, and love. Perhaps it's no accident that many people report feeling remembered, who they truly are, through this frequency. From Gregorian chants to modern meditation music, from ancient priests to today's sound therapists, 528 Hz has endured through the ages. This frequency belongs to no single religion or science. It is universal, a tone of unconditional love, a reminder that even amidst the chaos of the world's noise, there is an ancient silent harmony to which we can return. We don't have to invent it. We just need to remember and listen. There is a hidden secret in the history of sound, one that few know and even fewer understand. At the heart of this secret lies the question of why the sacred tones, like those of the solfeggio scale, were removed from Western music. The answer isn't simple, but it begins in the hallowed halls of the medieval church and wins through centuries of musical development, power struggles, and spiritual loss. In the early centuries of Christianity, music wasn't merely artistic expression, it was a spiritual practice. The Gregorian chants that emerged in the ninth century were considered prayer, not performance. These chants use specific frequencies, many of which are believed to be closely linked to the solfeggio scale today. They were designed to reach not just the ear but to touch the soul. Monks spent hours daily singing these sacred tones, believing they brought them closer to God, purified the heart, and elevated the mind to higher states of consciousness. Yet something changed. Slowly and initially imperceptibly, these original tones began to disappear from common use. As Western music entered the Renaissance, a different tuning system, equal temperament, took hold. This method of tuning, while mathematically practical and very useful for composers, sacrificed the purity of natural harmonies present in earlier sacred systems. It was essentially a compromise, a way to standardize musical instruments worldwide, but at the cost of certain spiritual frequencies. Some go further, claiming that certain institutions, perhaps with full awareness, suppress these tones because they possess transformative power. For if certain sound frequencies can awaken consciousness, heal emotional trauma, and connect humans with divine awareness, they could pose a threat to those in power. Control over spiritual experience is a potent tool. By altering tuning systems and redefining what music should be, the natural receptivity of humanity to energy, frequency, and vibration may have been dampened. And yet, the sacred tones never truly vanished. They survived in fragments, hidden in forgotten manuscripts, preserved in secluded religious orders, remembered in indigenous cultures that never lost their connection to vibrational wisdom. Today we are witnessing a rebirth of interest in sacred sound. People are beginning to remember, to ask questions, to listen differently. The hidden history of these frequencies is more than just a footnote in musical development. It is a reminder of how easily the sacred can be buried under convenience, control, and cultural change. But it is also a testament to the resilience of truth. For no matter how many centuries pass, the true sound of the soul can never be silenced forever. It echoes on, in ancient recordings, in sacred spaces, in the silence of meditation, and now anew, in the heart of all who are ready to hear it. Something extraordinary is happening. After centuries of silence, the sacred tones are returning, not through dusty manuscripts or secret orders, but through a global awakening, one that transcends language, culture, religion, and geography. From yoga studios to healing centers, from sound therapy workshops to online meditations, the vibrations of the solfeggio scale are resonating once more. People are not just learning about these tones, they are feeling them, and more importantly, they are using them to heal, awaken, and remember. One of the most powerful aspects of these tones is their ability to activate what many spiritual traditions call the subtle energy body, those non-physical layers of consciousness that surround and permeate our physical body. When this energy body is balanced and flowing, we feel alive, present, and connected. When it is blocked, we feel fear, confusion, or emptiness. Sacred tones can dissolve these energetic blockages by bringing harmonious patterns back into our field, patterns that remind the body and soul of their original blueprint. But this rediscovery is not confined to esoteric or New Age circles. Interest is also growing in psychology and neuroscience about how sound affects the human brain and body. Studies on neuroplasticity show that the brain can rewire itself in response to stimuli, and sound, particularly harmonic and rhythmic sound, is one of the most powerful stimuli available. Therapists are beginning to integrate frequency therapy into trauma healing, stress management, and mindfulness work. Music, once mere entertainment, is increasingly seen as a gateway to emotional regulation and spiritual transformation. What's remarkable about this movement is that no central authority directs it. There are no institutions controlling it, no dogmas dictating it. Instead, it's individuals from all walks of life awakening to sound through personal experience. Someone listens to a solfeggio meditation out of curiosity at night and feels lighter, more grounded, less anxious the next morning. Another person experiences a burst of tears during a tuning fork session, not knowing why, only that something heavy has left their body. A child listens to a 528 Hz track while falling asleep and has their first lucid dream. These experiences don't arise from belief, but from direct resonance. We live in an age of rediscovery, where ancient knowledge returns to meet modern needs. The sacred tones are not new. They are timeless. They were only forgotten for a while, buried under noise and distraction. But like the soul itself, they are indestructible. And now, in a time of spiritual hunger and emotional crises, they re-emerge with clarity and purpose. They offer us not just healing but a map, a vibrational compass guiding us back to wholeness. If you feel drawn to these sounds, you're not alone. You are part of a silent revolution, a movement that needs no followers, only listeners, a transformation that demands no belief, only openness, and a healing that doesn't begin in the mind, but in the vibration of the heart. In a world seeking solace and meaning, the resurgence of these sacred tones is a beacon of hope. As we continue to explore the profound impact of each solfeggio frequency, we find ourselves reconnecting with an ancient wisdom that transcends time and space. Whether through the calming embrace of 396 Hz or the transformative power of 528 Hz, these frequencies remind us of our innate potential for healing and enlightenment. The journey of rediscovery is one of personal empowerment, where each listener becomes a seeker of truth, guided by the harmonious vibrations that echo through the corridors of history. As we tune into these sacred sounds, we awaken to a reality where sound is more than just a sensory experience. It's a bridge to the divine, a tool for transformation, and a reminder of our interconnectedness with the universe. In this exploration, we find that the sacred tones are not relics of the past, but vibrant keys to unlocking the mysteries of the soul. They invite us to listen deeply, to feel profoundly, and to embrace the harmonious dance of creation. Through them, we remember that we are not separate from the world around us, but part of a grand symphony, resonating with the very essence of life itself. As we conclude this conversation, let us carry the wisdom of these sacred tones into our daily lives, allowing their vibrations to guide us toward greater awareness, compassion, and unity. In doing so, we honor the timeless legacy of sound, embracing its potential to heal, to awaken, and to transform. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and resonance. May the sacred tones continue to inspire and illuminate your path.